Good morning, everyone. Yesterday, we introduced a very short lesson about parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Today, we are going to introduce a new topic related to parallel lines, but this time we are going to bring angles back to this topic. So because we are going to introduce a little bit more words, so I'm going to separate this video as 3 parts. So in this lesson, you are going to watch 3 videos to cover all the angles we are going to introduce. So you don't need to watch a very, very long video for one part lesson. So let's get started. Before we start lesson, let's quickly have a warm-up. In front of you, you see a picture here. You can pause the video and think about what are the things you notice in this picture. So as you can see, we have 2 lines, and also these 2 lines cut through by another line here. So in this case, when you see a line cutting through 2 lines here, and we have a name for this line, which is called transversal. And also in this case, now we have, once the 2 lines cutting through by this line, now we have how many angles? Yes, you are correct. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So in this lesson, we are going to explore what are the relations we are going to see based on these 8 angles. So we are going to categorize them based on the position of these angles. So let's get started. The very first thing we are going to introduce is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles is talking about the angles share the same position. Keyword here is same position. So what does that mean? Let's check the angles in the corner. So for example, you checked angle 1. Angle 1 is in the top left corner. So we are looking for something in the top part and also in the left corner, so which is angle 5. So that's why angle 1 and angle 5 is one example of corresponding angles. So let's check another one. You may wonder, what about angle 4? So think about this before I tell you the answer. Which one is corresponding angles to angle 4? Check the position for angle 4 is like in the right side, but below the line in this corner, right? So on the right side, below the line, which one? You are correct, angle 8. So these 2 angles, angle 4, another example is angle 4 and angle 8. You can definitely get more examples, so try to, based on the discussion we had here, think about what are the angles are actually corresponding angles. So one quick trick for you is we actually look for, so when we look for corresponding angles, we are looking for F. What does that mean? So check the what I saw. So this angle, we connect it to this angle. Does it look like F here, but it's like upside down? And also for this side, angle 4, angle 8, does also look like F here, but on the right side. So this is probably one cue for you to observe. So that's one example for you. Now, next I'm going to share with you a very, very important fact about corresponding angles. So in this lesson, when we talk about these angles, this angle is based on their position. However, this angle have a very interesting fact when these 2 lines are parallel. So when 2 lines are parallel lines, when 2 parallel lines cut by a transversal, so corresponding angles will be always congruent. So which means, as we mentioned before, for example, angle 1 is 120 degree. And based on the discussion we just had, we know angle 1 and angle 5 are also corresponding angles. So that's why angle 5 will be 120 degree. We know that fact. And also, if we want to know if 2 lines are parallel, we can use this position to prove it. So for example, if I know angle 5 is 120 and angle 4 is 120, this is a fact, and I know there are corresponding angles, then I can prove these 2 lines are parallel. You know, it sounds like a lot of information for you to check, but later once we do more practice, and you will get through this. So that's the first part of the angles I'm going to introduce. We are going to introduce more angles in the next two videos. See you soon, everyone.